Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dadsigner podcast. I'm Michael Smith, your host, and today I am joined by Paul Douglas. Hey, Paul, welcome to the show.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, why don't you tell folks a little bit about who you are, where you're located, what you do, and a bit about your family?
I'm Paul. I'm a freelance visual identity designer, so I design logos and websites for small businesses. I'm based in London. I have a 2-year-old, soon to be 3 years old, and I live with my wife.
Very cool. Very cool. And another connection through the Doing It for the Kids community. The previous guest John Richards was on, and so it's been cool to meet some dads that are freelancers, part of that community, and I keep plugging it because I think what Frankie's doing is really cool.
Yeah, it is.
And how long have you been a part of that community?
I think just over a year, maybe. Like,
Okay,
yeah,
nice,
just about not too
nice.
long.
And freelance design work is your full time thing now.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, before we hit record, you were mentioning that it's allowed you to have a bunch of freedom to be with your daughter and with your family. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so because I'm a stay-at-home dad, so um, literally my day revolves around my daughter and then Valentina. So it's just doing figuring activities to do with her, the usual house stuff like washing up and laundry, cooking, and entertaining her, and then just kind of fitting my work around her. So I try and like in the evenings I'll do like work, freelance stuff, and during the day sometimes I put a TV on for her for like an hour or so and like get bits working in the day. So that's kind of literally how my day works out. I need to plan my day the night before, so I know which tasks I've got to do for a day and what projects I've got to do as well. So yeah, that's that's really what I do.
Yeah. And where are you finding most of your clients today?
So it's funny because I've been getting a lot from like word of mouth, and some of them from repeat customers, repeat clients. So I'll reach out to old clients, they see more work come through there, or they repeat come back to me for more stuff. And LinkedIn actually as well. Like I got a couple from LinkedIn. So yeah, those are my main kind of streams of my clients.
Nice. Yeah, I was just talking to someone yesterday about LinkedIn and how it's kind of ebbed and flowed as far as like people's people using it. But I feel like now it's kind of like having a moment where a lot of people are on there. Um,
Yeah,
do you post work on there to get more work, or like what is the type of stuff that's garnered um, you to get responses from folks?
actually, I get more responses when I post stuff about like me and my daughter, just like doing everyday life and just kind of explaining what life is like as a stay-at-home dad and a freelancer. Sometimes, I mean, I do post work, but majority of the time I kind of just try to express my authority in my industry, just being more personal, what I'm up to, and then those are the kind of things that kind of gets me a bit more noticed. I think. 'Cause I think a lot of I'm not saying this is wrong. A lot of designers post their work, um, and I want to do that, but I also want people to, or potential clients, to know a bit more about me and my situation. And I'm a proud stay-at-home dad as well, so kind of working with people that are understanding of my situation, or even have kids as well, is just like kind of a perfect like kind of match.
Yeah, yeah. Was I don't know if the culture in the UK was like this, but probably 15-ish years ago, you would never do that.
No,
It
no,
would be like
exactly,
a
no.
faux pas to like to present your like family on a professional network. Um,
Yeah,
have you noticed a shift in that as well?
yeah, definitely. I think more more so now, people are trying to be more authentic and like real authentic. So actually, just sharing. I'm not saying sharing all your life, but sharing snippets about you just makes you kind of relatable. And I heard a saying that people buy from who they know. So I feel like if you kind of know me and have a snippet into my life, it may make me appealable to work with. And I think I've been seeing that a lot from a lot of like small businesses or even freelancers. They that's what they're doing. I think maybe the more popular guys don't do it as much because I think they've already got their audience. But I think the smaller ones need to do that because you need to kind of stand out in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, and then when people do reach out, then are they? I'm assuming they've seen your work and they're like, "Yeah, this is good. I want to work with Paul," or are they asking, "Hey, I saw you. I really like you. Can I see some of your work?" Or what does that look like?
Oh, so luckily no one's asked to see my work. I think they've kind of just come across me and liked my stuff or like what I've done. And just, they want to work with me. It always comes down to affordability if they can afford my services or not. But yeah, most of the time it's just them coming to me, just want to see how I work and what I can do for them.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and speaking of your work, one of the pieces that you mentioned was Cage Fitness. Talk to
Yeah.
me a little bit about that project, how it came to be, and some of the details there.
So that actually happened during lockdown. And I was kind of struggling to kind of find like work. And it's actually my blood brother who wanted the logo design. Um, and because I know him, um, I knew the type of style he would like or he would vibe with, what his personality needed. So that was such a seamless project. And when I did post it, it was like, and I got a lot of traction on that project, and I got some more work out of it because people liked the vibe of it. So I feel like it wasn't like my first ever logo job, but I felt like it was one of the ones that kind of got me a bit more noticed, that got me a bit more work. And then what it did as well was like, because I knew my brother, obviously, I was like, okay, how can I do this in a way where I can know future clients? That's why I came up with like a questionnaire so that when I start with a client, I send them that so it makes me understand them, know them a bit more. And I kind of understand their personality. And then it kind of helps me produce better work. That's what I found. So I think that was like really pivotal project, can't say the word, um, project that really helps like things kind of where they are now.
Yeah. And that was a fitness brand. Did it
Yeah.
attract more fitness brands or was it you were seeing it even outside of that industry?
Even outside the industry, I think it because it was like a bold kind of color palette and a bold mark. A lot of people that wanted to kind of have the similar look, so they wanted that bold look. And yes, I was getting like freelancers that worked in the industry as well, but it was other industries as well. Like there was a PR company that came to me as well, wanted to have like a kind of bolder look. So uh, yeah, so yeah, different industries.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. And I'm assuming your brother is still using it.
Yeah, he is, you know. And I actually just I did this later newest website for him. So yeah, we continue to work together, which is pretty cool. And then obviously people have seen the website, and then I got a bit more clients from the website side because they wanted the kind of bold the look as well. So it kind of keeps working out for me a little bit.
Yeah, that's really cool. Um, it's interesting. The There's a guy. He's actually in the UK, and he posts this saying all the time: "Do the work that you want to do." Something to that
Yeah,
effect. And I'm always curious, like how that looks for different people. It's like you put out this work that you're really proud of, and you want to attract more people like that. But sometimes you you almost attract like the identical kind of
yeah,
client, like
yeah,
another fitness brand that wants to be super bold. But
yeah,
it's cool to hear that you attracted other people that could see outside the fitness box and say, "Oh yeah, you can apply the same bold styling to my bakery or whatever it might be."
yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that's what I want. Like, I want a niche because I do like working in like health and fitness, wellness, like just healthy mindset, that kind of world. But I also enjoy working outside of that in other companies. So, like you said, I really want to work with a broad range of clients, and I'm hoping that that's why people vibe with my work and just like the work, not because I work in fitness per se, but like you said, it can help them in any other industry that they're in, and hopefully that'll push their personality a bit more. That's what I want to do more. I want to show companies how to use their personality, not be like cookie cutter or be similar to anybody else. What's your personality that we need to drive home on?
Yeah. What has been the most helpful question on your questionnaire to get people to help you get to that personality piece?
Like, it's simple, but I always like, what's the name of your business and why have you chosen it?
Mm,
And I feel like that opens up a lot of, let's say, emotions to it. Because like there's a reason why they're called that name. There is like a story behind that. So once I can get that story, I can find the personality. So that's always my favorite one to ask.
nice, nice. Have you ever been surprised by a react or a response?
Actually, haven't, because sometimes clients are still kind of vague with it. I kind of have to keep pushing, pushing, pushing. But I know I've not actually been surprised. I'm hoping I'll be surprised soon.
Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, so you mentioned earlier that you're a stay-at-home dad, do freelancing. What what do you do to stay inspired, first of all? And then second of all, how do you make sure that your focus is on your daughter during the day, like while you're while you're with her? Because I know for me, when I get an idea, I get a spark of inspiration, I want to like sit down and immediately do it. Like, how do
Yeah.
you balance that?
So it's really hard. Some days it's easier than others. I think I stay inspired because like I want to be able to find a good life for my daughter. So I think the harder I work is the more I can make. So even the days I feel really, really tired, I know I've got to do something because it's not just about me now. It's about um, my daughter, and she's one of the biggest things that's kind of motivates me. Um, and then what I try to do as well is like to kind of balance the time with my daughter. I make sure that for example, in the morning, I have a couple of hours with her, just like we go for a walk or I go to like a play group or we go to the garden. I do that so I can just be with her, and then once she's done that, maybe in the afternoon I'll put the TV on, and that gives me like an hour kind of just focus on what I need to do. And it's why like a lot of it is me having to be really, really organized and plan the night before exactly what I'm going to do. Even like planning her task or planning where we're going to go, I put it all into my schedule. So I kind of like, okay, I'm going to do this up until 12. And I know from 12 to 1, I need to do this project. And then, you know, that's that helps me kind of stay organized, stay inspired. And then in the evening, when she goes to bed, like my wife is really there putting her to bed. In that time, I just kind of crack on like 2 hours, 3 hours, just kind of doing a bit of work, and then try and fit time my wife at it in the evening. So that's kind of like how balanced. And like I said, it doesn't always work. Some days I feel like some weeks I feel like burnt out where I just don't have it in headspace to kind of even think about posting on Instagram, for example, or doing work. But the other days, other weeks when I feel like a lot more, like, a lot more energy, try and do as much as I can in that week. I know it's just going to be up and down.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and then as far as like the clients are concerned, you're attracting clients that understand your scenario and situation.
Yeah.
Um, and do you give them a pretty solid schedule as well? Like, hey, here's when you can expect some stuff, and you know, how strict do you stick to that?
Yeah, 100%. Because obviously I protect my time a lot as well because I don't want to be getting like messages or like calls outside of a certain time of the day or in the evening. So I kind of with projects as well. I kind of give it a longer deadline. So say for example, if it take me 2 weeks, I will say it's going to take me 4 weeks, just in case of like give myself a buffer, like we will get sick or like there's something I've got to do with. Kind of gives me that breathing space to kind of get the work done, and I'm never late for the deadline. So like, because they're expecting 4 weeks, if I get it earlier than that, they're surprised or they're happy that it's done earlier. But then if I hit it on the 4 week mark, that's when they was expecting it anyway. So yeah, I try and communicate as much as I can. Like this is the situation. Even if they don't know my situation, like this is the situation. This is the times I work. Are you okay with that? And a lot of the time they're like, yeah, it's fine. And so far it's kind of it's working pretty well. And in the worst case scenario where I had an issue where it's taking me over the deadline, um, I always communicate that and they're absolutely fine. As long as I do it within a certain amount of time, and I don't leave it to last minute. Communicate, yeah, it works out okay.
Yeah, that's great. Another thing I wanted to talk about in your portfolio, because I think it's a really cool project and I'd love to hear more about it, is A Woman's Worth.
Oh yeah,
I just think that the mark and like the shape, it kind of forms a W. It's, kind of these two figures. Tell me a little bit more about what that was for and a bit about the thought process on the logo.
oh yeah. So that's actually a really cool project. Actually, it was it's so funny because when I used to work in a fitness studio, I met the organization, the leader of the group or that organization, and we ended up getting along. And then I always tell people what I do. Um, So then it came to it that she had this project. So she was like, it was just like a woman's group that's just meant to be for support and to look after each other, to help each other with their like mental health. And it's the kind of project I love working with, not just health for your body, but like mindset and just helping people with mental health. Yeah, just being like a support network. So she wanted something that was just like approachable, maybe a little feminine, have a strong mark, and just show like love and support. Um, so that was like the kind of keywords that she used. So when I got down to designing the logo, I kind of wanted it to look like freehand. So it's just like not taken too seriously, but have like a soft kind of kind of feel to it, an approachable feel to it. And I kind of wanted to look like a heart to support love, but also two figures like just looking at each other and kind of supporting each other. And I saw like that was literally like my first idea that I did, and I really liked it. So I mopped it up and everything, showed her, and she literally loved it. I remember I got quite emotional about it, and no clients ever got emotional about any work I've done. And then she got really emotional about it, so she really liked it. And I was like, wow, like it's so good to kind of not only you nail it one, you're like, oh yeah, like I'm the best designer in the whole world. No, no, not really. But when you nail it, you know, it was such a nice feeling that she loved it and it kind of represented everything that she wanted the business to be about, and just to be a part of an organization like that to kind of support people was yeah, really really nice project. One of my definitely one of my favorite projects that I've designed, and still use it now. And that was I think I designed that 2 3 years ago now, I think, and still in use. So that always makes me feel good when you still see the logo being used in the way it's supposed to be. So that was yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that's really cool. One of the things that I'm realizing that we talked about a little bit before, your brother has a fitness studio. Fitness seems to be a theme. Um, maybe not just in design, but also in your life. And it's something I've been thinking about lately as like as a dad who has a job where he predominantly sits at a desk.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
what what have you done to make sure that you're staying fit, healthy, active, both mentally and physically for your family, for your daughter? You've got a lot that you're balancing.
Yeah.
How do you do that? And like, yeah,
Yeah. So, you know, I've always been into, I mean, I've always been into fitness, but not like a really excessive, but kind of just always had a mind on like how I want to be healthy, how I want to move my body. Um, but because when I was working when I was working part time at studios, I always worked in fitness studios. Because I thought it's flexibility of it. You know, always I finish work at a certain time, I can always do work when I get home. So that's why I kind of like, I didn't want to have a 9 to 5. I always worked in studios where it's just different shifts. But anyway, so I've learned a lot by working in those kind of studios to know how important health is. So like as soon as my daughter was born, I remember like during lockdown, especially, I put on loads of weight. Not like a big guy, but I put on a bit of weight on the belly, and I'm like, no, I don't like the look of that. But I think, okay, now she's born, I need to have energy. I need to be as fit as I can. So I just try and eat better. I mean, that's the fundamental of it. So I try and I love sweets. I love like crisps and stuff like that. So I just kind of learn how to minimize that. So me and my wife have like on a Friday, we have like a date night and we have like snacks like cake, like sweets and stuff. But we don't do it for the week, the rest of the week. So that's our one day to kind of indulge and get back to being healthy for the week. Just trying to eat more vegetables and like more protein. And then I try and work out 5 days a week. So in the morning, my daughter normally wakes up around like between 6 and 7. So I wake up, get a breakfast, and I just work out straight away for like half an hour. So at least I know it's done. I don't need to think about, oh, I've got to psych myself out. I'll just do it straight away. So then by 7:30, I've done working out, and then I can kind of just get on my work and be there for my daughter. But it really was when my daughter was born. I really want to be a fit and healthy dad and be in best condition I can possibly for her. That was very important. So that's another motivation. It's like, no, let's try and work as much as you can, be healthy, eat well, to see how you feel. And like I said, some weeks I feel great. Other weeks where I'm not sleeping as well, I don't feel as good. But majority of the time, I'm good because I think I've got a real focus on my health.
Yeah. Yeah. I, part of the reason I bring it up is because I think the conversation so frequently revolves around, um, the dad bod. It was like a big thing and like that became the norm. And I've been thinking more and more about this lately
Yeah,
of like, it actually has far less to do with, physical, the way that necessarily we look and more about like, for me at least, the longevity and the energy and the
exactly.
level that I'm going to be able to have with my kids. And so,
100%.
um, it's something I've been thinking a bit about. And as I've met different dads, especially with this podcast, where it's like, oh, hey, like, what's your trick? Because I think we all want to be around for our kids for as long as possible.
Exactly.
And health, I'm not even talking about weight or fitness or all that kind of stuff. Health is crucially important. And
Yeah. No, definitely. Because I don't want to, when you're younger, you have it. Oh, I want to look like this. I want to have like,
Mhm.
I want to be slim abs and stuff. But that's not even my focus now. It's more just like I want to be strong, so like I can still pick her up in like later life. You know, like I said, energy. It's just more about being able to even like bending over. Like bending over or like you don't be feeling stiff all the time. That's my focus now. Just be able to move and just not being like like in back pain and stuff like that. I really don't want to be in like my mid 40s or something and just be like, oh, my back's hurting. No, I just want to be full. I want to be full of life. If that makes sense. So that's why I focus, not for aesthetic reasons, just to kind of feel good within myself. Which I feel like since I have been doing this routine, I do feel much better.
Yeah. And are you training towards anything, or is it mainly just like, I want to make sure that I have health for a long time for my daughter?
It's mostly that, but I've always been like kind of a slim, kind of skinny guy, and I've always wanted to just put on a bit more weight, but in a healthy way, not
Hmm.
necessarily just eating like rubbish. So my goal is just to be a little bit bigger, but strong. That's I can just lift stuff. Really,
Yeah.
not being, and also my back as well. Like I want to have a strong back. I don't want to be like struggling to, like I keep saying, like struggling to lift things or like picking them up and doing stuff. I want to be able to do that for as long as possible.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the age old trope of a dad is like his back is always hurting.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I realize as I've gotten older, like I understand why that is the trope because there are weird things I do where I'm like, oh man, my back. And I'm like,
I
okay,
know exactly.
how do I strengthen that so that that's
Yeah,
not a thing? Because it sucks like when when you're in pain.
it really does. Yeah, it does. And I remember a few weeks ago, like no, a few months ago, I really hurt my back. And I had to sit on the chair for like 3 days. I couldn't really move. And my wife would take time off work. And I was like, don't ever want to be in this situation again. Like I got to do something. So I started focusing more on like I think the core and like your back, lower back. So it doesn't happen again.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Well, yeah, I really appreciate you coming on and talking. I have two more questions. And those are, what has been your greatest parenting joy, and what has been your greatest parenting learning?
So my joy is just, I think, just spending time with her. It might sound corny, but just being able to be in a situation where I can be with her majority of the time and mold her into hopefully a good person. You know, I think uh, that's very important. It's, because like, you know, see she's growing up and like you can just see she's becoming like a really nice person, having manners. That's like a really, I take really a lot of joy in that. She's a likable kid as well, so it's just like that's one of my joys.
Yeah. And then what has been your biggest learning?
Oh, like there's a couple actually. Like I can survive on 3 hours, 4 hours sleep. Because before I was the biggest person I needed not to sleep, and I just thought I could never cope. But because she was never a really good sleeper, so like being able to function on a little bit of sleep is a learning that I can do. But also just being patient and flexible is the biggest thing I've learned because I went into it expecting that I can put her on the schedule and she's going to do this at this time, do this, this, and this when I want her to do it. And it's like it just doesn't work that way. So you just got to learn to be able to build I build a routine, but realize that it's not going to go to plan every single day, and being patient with that and understand that that's okay, and being flexible to pivot. So like if something doesn't go to plan, you know, you just find a new way of doing something. Well, if it doesn't work out today, then I just got to get back to it tomorrow. You know, and I'll try and just remove the pressure from it, being flexible and being patient.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Well, yeah, I appreciate you coming on and sharing about your work and your dad balance. If folks wanted to find you online or connect with you, where can they go to do that?
So I try and mostly be on Instagram, which is at the Sales Studio. You can find me on my website, which is salesstudio.com. And LinkedIn as well as under Paul Douglas. If you want to find me there. And I think that's it. I try and keep it like not too much stuff to find out.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming on.
No, thank you for inviting me. It's been great.